Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a very special video. No, judging by the title of my video, no, my horse is not for sale and I am not injured, but we have somebody else here riding my lovely horse. Her name is Jenna and she is a really wonderful rider, you guys. So we're really lucky to have her on board with our journey. So this is her first try with Hazel there, and then you guys will be able to see how beautiful and amazing she is and how well they're doing together. So this is her first try out here for a part lease or part board on my beautiful horse. So I know a lot of you are probably wondering, like, what's the point of having somebody else ride my horse if they're not buying it? Or what's the point of having a part board or a leasee on my horse? And in our case here, it's just actually to help me with training. So Hazel's a beautiful horse. She loves to work. She lives to work, and for her it's very unfair. She's not worked properly. I am personally riding my horse twice a week, and I have another lady as well helping me once a week. So that makes 3 rides a week, of a total of about less than an hour each ride. And so this summer we are trying to achieve a couple of our goals. And I think that this new rider by the name of Jenna will be able to help us achieve that this summer. And so Jenna will be able to progress and learn a little bit more about more forward horses, and it's just a little bit of a different horse, just because she's not a typical school horse. So Jenna will be able to learn a great deal about these kind of horses, and at the same time Hazel is learning a lot as well, as she's going to be able to upkeep her training, and all of that is supervised of course by my coach, which is following us as well. So Jenna will be having 1 lesson a week with my coach, and I will as well have 1 lesson a week with the same coach, and she will be also allowed to ride Hazel by herself, just for leisure, once a week as well. So that adds 2 more days a week that she will be in work, so for a total of 5 days a week, which is actually not too bad, judging by Hazel's age as well as her condition. I think she can definitely handle the workload, and we're now several weeks after this video was actually filmed, and I'm happy to report that everything is going well between rider and horse. Both of them are really happy, and I couldn't be more grateful and thankful to have this help as well. So I've been focusing on Hazel and Jenna for a little bit, but I am actually riding as well today. As you can see here, I'm in bright pink, and I'm riding actually my coach's horse by the name of Connor, and I'm just helping her with him and just trying to see what we can accomplish. So Connor is a very lovely horse. It's a sweet disposition. He has a great personality, and he's just getting back into work. So he had some previous accomplishments, and now we're putting him back into work after a little bit of a break. So it's just all about bringing him up to pace and be able to get him to do some small jumps and just get his fitness together. So that's Connor's journey there. So my coach is usually riding this horse, but I thought I would just give him a try, might as well. So today will be a combination of Jenna and Hazel and me and Connor, and you guys will be able to see everybody's progress on this. So Connor is fairly new. I think my coach at that point just had the horse for about a month roughly. And he came to us in a little bit of a rough shape just because he's been pastured and he's not like, he hasn't been worked consistently in a little bit. So it's just a matter of, putting gears into action and getting him to be a little bit more fit so we can actually, transform him again into a sport horse and get a lot of achievements together, either me with Connor or my coach with Connor, of course. So I'm really, really happy and proud to be able to help my coach with this horse as well. So as you can see here, Hazel's doing, she's being a very, very nice girl, and she's doing awesome with Jenna there. As you can see, their pace is really wonderful. And as you can see here, I'm a little bit struggling here with Mr. Connor just because it's such a different ride. Connor is a gelding and he is 17 hands. And he is a little bit more on the lazy side or on the woe side of things. So he's a little bit hard to kind of put in hand and kind of put together. As Hazel is definitely more of the hot, spicy type of horse, so it's more the opposite. It's kind of, containing her energy. So it's definitely a huge difference for me here. So my coach is kind of helping me a little bit with her horse because Connor is not really responsive to the leg aids, and so I have a hard time kind of putting him into a work trot, which is what Hazel and Jenna are currently having. So as you can see here, we're able to kind of finally pick up some speed and get him to trot nicely. But what I would say about Connor though is he's such a sweet disposition. His gait are actually very, very soft. It's something that I really like about him, the way that he's actually trotting and the way that he's cantering. It's a whole different feeling because Hazel's more of a glider, but he's more of a prancer, if that makes sense. It's just a different feeling in the saddle, so it's a very interesting experience for me as well. So now that everybody is warmed up, it's time to just get into action. So my coach laid out a pole, just a ground pole there for us to go over. And as you can see here, Mr. Connor is overthinking it a little bit. So yeah, I'm having a little bit of an issue with that, but it's okay. He's a little bit rusty when it comes to ground poles and things like that. So it's just a matter of getting him into gear. As you can see here, Hazel and Jenna did wonderful. It's there was no pole on the ground. Mr. Connor is a little bit more dramatic on the other hand, so I just have to be a little bit careful just because it's just his reactions a little bit overwhelming and a little bit more powerful, but overall he's still being a good boy. He's just a little bit more dramatic than Hazel is over that pole. So as you can see, Hazel is a little bit more rhythmical. She's definitely more into she's been 6 months into training, so she's got this down already. Connor is definitely getting better as we go, which I'm really, really proud because it's a little bit tough because it's not the horse I typically ride. So I'm not sure how he responds to certain things. So I just gotta try a different combination until I find something that that works for us. So after doing a couple times on this lead, we're just changing sides here to try to get it around the different side and see what happens. So just a cute fact for you guys. So both horses are 9 years old. They're both the same age. It's just one has been worked for 6 months, and the other one has been just put back into work a month ago. So as you can see here, we just kind of missed the mark. I think it was more my fault than it was the horse, definitely. I had a little bit of trouble calculating the pole, and I should have hit it to the outside instead of the inside there. So my coach added 2 poles, which kind of makes a little V there. So it's just for the horse to kind of figure out where they're going to place their legs. So you'll see here, Mr. Connor is getting a little bit more used to it. He used to be a little bit more dramatic at first. So what happened with him is when you put it closer to an obstacle or something like that, he kind of just gets himself a little bit worked up. Like he's very apprehensive of it, which is not really needed. Like it's just ground poles. There's nobody trying to swallow him or anything like that. There's no hole, black hole anywhere. It's just really for him to kind of figure out where he's going to put his legs. So for me, I'm just trying to center him into the pole and get him to kind of figure that part out as well. So my coach changed the settings here of the poles. And she spaced them out, and as you can see here, I'm having a little bit of an issue to just get him to go over that pole. Not to the point of him being like, you know, crazy out of hand, but he's just not taking the pole. So I'm just taking the time to make sure that he gets through it. It's just because it's not like a big deal. So I just want him to just kind of cooperate and go along, get along with me as well. So just to be mentioned, as well as the first time I'm riding him as well. So it's a lot of things that I have to take into consideration as well with him, because he's just a different feel than Hazel is. So I'm just trying to get him over the small stuff and just get him to kind of focus on me, trust me, and get the stuff done. As you can see, Hazel and Jenna are doing really fantastic. They've been you know, going around us and, you know, not being too bothered by us sometimes. And then here, it's just, I think Hazel spooked as Jenna was actually asking for a canter. So we decided, because it was crazy windy that day and it was hard to get the horses to kind of cooperate, that we would bring them indoors and see what we could do that way, just so it's a little bit more safe and we can hopefully both work the canter that way. So after warming up for a bit, it's Jenna and Hazel's turn to canter, and I'm just gonna wait there with Connor in the middle to just kind of give them the room to get that done. And as you can see here, they were doing really great. The canter started smoothly, and then Jenna just used a little bit too much hands on Hazel, which is something that she learned really quickly. Hazel really likes to have her headspace, and she's very comfortable in that headspace, so you just have to kind of give it to her. But as you can see, Jenna is very, very bright and smart, and she figured it out really right away. And as you can see here, they have a lovely connection, and she's able to control her that way. So, you know, that's what I appreciate about Jenna, is that she's able to understand and read the horse really fast, and she can just kind of adjust quickly to it, which is wonderful because she's not heavy-handed. She's not pulling too much. She's not, you know, doing too much with her hands, which is exactly what we need. And she's learning so quick to kind of read her body language and just see what needs to be done. So now it's Jenna's turn to kind of stay parked in the middle, and then Connor and I will try to canter as well. So both horses were a little bit more receptive indoors, of course, but I was still having a little bit of a hard time to get him to canter. But as you can see here, he's got a lovely and smooth canter. Even if his head is a little bit in the air, it's a little bit hard for me because it's a lot of force to kind of group up together when you want to canter him. So I'm not forcing him too much into a frame. I'm just kind of taking the rhythm as it comes. But I'm really confident that in a couple of weeks or even months from now, his canter is going to be so lovely when it's going to be all fully packaged and collected. He's almost there, like the body is doing the right thing, it's just the head needs to be a little bit more lower and just a little bit more collected and on the bit. But other than that, at least he's not running through my hands, he's not bolting, he's not doing anything like that. So now it's Jenna's turn with Hazel to go on the other side. Opposite side as we went earlier, and just try to canter once again. And as you can see, they did really lovely. It was brilliant, and Jenna really learned really quickly that Hazel needed that head space, so she's just giving it to her right now. And as you can see, she's very collected into it, and it was a perfect canter. So now it is our turn again to try to canter in that direction. Since Mr. Connor had done previously dressage before, he's been dressage trained, he's done a couple jumps, and his canter is actually smooth. I'm going to try to kind of sit into his canter and see how it feels with that dressage saddle there. So there you go. So as you can see here, he's so smooth. It's taking me a little bit of a second to kind of figure out how I can sit the canter with Connor, just because I haven't used the saddle to do this type of cantering before. So this is kind of totally new to me, this kind of feeling, and it was actually pretty amazing. It's really smooth. It's just I have to kind of learn to go with the motion and things, but definitely my coach, I would have to kind of borrow Connor here and there to just get this canter work done, just so I can learn a little bit more about it. But it's definitely so smooth, guys. I can't wait to try Connor again in a couple weeks from now and see how he does. Since both horses did a wonderful job, we decided to call it a day. So once again, Jenna and Hazel, well, Jenna did a brilliant job with Hazel. It looked seamless. She did really good, and she was actually such a good rider. She was able to read the horse really fast and adjust accordingly. There was just this one miscommunication at the canter, but hey, it's fair enough. She's never tried the horse before. So once again, beautiful connection. I'm really happy and proud to have such a rider on board with our journey here. And I think that both Hazel and Jenna will both learn a great deal of each other. And for me and Connor, I think I got my workout cut out because he does not respond to the leg a lot, but he's such a lovely disposition, and I can't wait to ride him again in the future.